Yeah, unfortunately, I've already made the decision to stream, so... My brick dealer had 11 puppies and unexpectedly asked if I wanted one, so I'm debating on it. You know, I'm a fan of dogs. I'm not gonna lie, I've always been a fan of dogs. No, we're not doing the intros. Sorry, DB, we're not playing the intro tonight. So I'm a fan of dogs. I generally like dogs. I would have more dogs than one if I had space for them. But I don't know, I'm specific. It has to be a dog I really want. It has to be something where it's genuinely something I wanted, like that I was interested in. I'm also kind of a purebred snob, if I'm being honest. I'm fine with mutts. I'm fine with dogs that are rescue dogs and all that kind of stuff. But I really want to I like purebreds. I like getting a dog that I really have been wanting to have, you know? Of course, I had a pug. So for me, it's like I want a boxer. I want a French bulldog. I want something unique, you know? Beat up a kaiju wolf in Dark Souls. Well, dude, I think the entire Dark Souls franchise is a 10 out of 10. Although, oh, Purebred Chocolate Lab, that's pretty cool. I've heard less than stellar things about Dark Souls 2, but I've never played it, so I can't, I can't give my own opinion on that. But I've heard less than wonderful things about it. So, yeah, animals are tough if you travel. That's how I ended up with 2 out of my 3 animals, okay? I had my 1 cat. Then my mom had to give me her cat because she was never home. Then she got a dog, and less than a year later, I have a dog now. So, it's just regretfully the way things go. All right, so guys, tonight we're going to be a little all over the place due to the amount of news and the fact that I didn't stream on Monday. So there's a bunch that I haven't caught up on. Some stuff I wanted to try to get to tonight that we're not going to because I just don't have the information in front of me. Mahendra, there's a lot. We're going to be all over the place. So starting off, I want to hit some random stuff that I've seen, and we'll go from there in a minute. So here's one, guys. Completely, not important. I just want your opinions on this. In fact, I'm going to put a poll in the chat, so give me a second. Hang on a second. You'll understand the poll once I play the video. Here we go. I have no idea how long the timer is on there. I think it's like 1 hour. That's why I haven't gotten one, but then I never ended up moving. So a decade I could have had a dog. I mean, dude, that is life. That is the way things go. Every freaking time it's like, well, I can't do this now because X, Y, or Z, and then X, Y, or Z don't ever happen. Sweet Baby Inc. came back with a new game. Are we talking about the one that's the Take Us North game, the illegal, human trafficking coyote game, or are we talking about a different one? You already understand the poll. You saw the clip. Okay, good. Then it's not just me then. All right, so I'm gonna play the video for you guys. I honestly want to know, am I like the weirdo in this scenario that doesn't quite understand it? Just watch the video here. And it has nothing to do with the entire rest of the video. It's like the last 5-second snippet. I'm gonna mute it. Okay, so this guy's doing this whole day in the life of his work, right? So he's got his morning workout, his hour commute, the metro. The craziest part is this dude is like, he goes to the gym, works out for like 3 hours a day, all to be like not buff. It's the weirdest thing. So yeah, he swims in the morning, works out at lunch, takes 2 showers a day, has his little portioned out meal, works until the evening, goes to... Now it says daily routine, but he goes to the barber. You don't go to the barber once a day, do you? That's insane. I cut my hair like once every 2 months. All right, comes home. Gets his tea and his book. Now here's the part. Okay, this right here. This is the part I don't quite understand. Blue healers and pit bulls. Healers I can understand. I love healers. My neighboring granny's cats lived for 29 years. Okay, Mahendra, yeah, that game. Well, that one's been covered to death, and there's a lot. I could have done a whole stream just on the drama around Alyssa Mercante and Alyssa Mercante is back with a vengeance on Twitter and Blue Sky. She is spurging out at everybody. She's currently trying to get Madame Savvy's sponsors or her affiliate partnerships canceled and all that because she kind of destroyed her on Twitter. So daily routine scams online. Hey now. I've always wanted to make one of these day in the life videos that shows the complete laziness that I go through on a day-to-day basis. Dude, I think this is like pure feminine energy when a man makes a day in the life of my blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. I was telling my mom this because there's a certain age demographic that should have never had access to the internet. Like, I think people over the age of 50 at this point now, maybe like over the age of 60. So like the true boomer generation never should have had internet access because they're the ones who post the most insane, like TMI retarded cringe on Twitter, right? The smell of a book is a real thing, but he's doing it performatively because he's making an aesthetic vibe video. So the thing that I don't understand is people who film. It's one thing to be like, okay, I'm doing a commentary video. I want to share my opinion. I've done a couple like shorts on my YouTube channel where I'm just talking to the camera, but I'm sharing a legitimate opinion. I'm not like, I'm going to document my entire 12-hour day and just put it into a little 50-second clip. Who would care about that? But okay, so this is the part that I was like, I don't understand, right? Like, I understand that certain books smell. I've had books that smell bad because they're from the library, they're from a used bookstore, they're a school book, whatever, okay? But I'm down here, I'm like, why is Homeboy sniffing his book? And oh my God, 200 responses. Most of them are people who are like, clearly you've never read before. You're a non-reader spotted. It's like, because I don't take a giant huff of my book like it's some massive fart that I've Dutch ovened for like 3 hours, apparently I'm a non-reader. I've read like hundreds of books in my life. No, not thousands, hundreds. Easily in the hundreds, several hundred. Just because I don't understand why this dude is taking a massive huff out of the middle of his book, I'm a non-reader apparently. So, just cutting to more sitting and eating. It'd be like one of those fat mom TikToks where they're feeding their kids like literal garbage and they take oh my God, the one that has the frozen pack of meat where she's trying to like defrost it in the pan. So she puts this frozen pack of ground beef or something face down in the hot pan and can't get the plastic or the styrofoam container off of it because it's frozen to it. Yeah. No, Oblivion, there's a difference between occasionally smelling something. So, okay, I've been in the food industry, food service my entire life. I have seen the dumbest things when it comes to people picking things up to smell that have a thick barrier where you're not going to get a scent. You're not going to get a whiff of anything, okay? Look at the actual book. He's doing a vibe thing right. But the thing about it is these people in the replies are like, oh, yes, I love the smell of a fresh book. I do this every time I read. And it's like, maybe I'm the odd one. I don't know. I keep my book in a Ziploc when I carry to keep pages straight, clean, and no smell. That is seriously anal retentive, but I respect it. I get it. Yeah, I don't know. But the amount of people talking about how, like, this is like, okay, once in a while, if I'm at Costco, I'll go get it, like, I'll walk past the tires and take a big sniff, and I'm like, I like the smell of tires, you know? That's cool, whatever. I don't, it's not some, like, someone's like, what about a new pair of shoes? Can't remember the last time that I've picked up a new pair of shoes, put it to my face, and taken a giant sniff. So no, I don't understand this at all. Here's another good one. I actually have not watched this entire video yet. I try to not watch too much of this stuff when I'm going to put it up on stream here. This is from Why Women Get L's, one of these accounts that pretty much just dunks on women all the time. Let's see this here. So here you have pre-divorce where she's very heavyset, right? Okay, so pre-divorce and post-divorce. Post-divorce, she's still a little chunky, but you can clearly see she's lost a lot of weight, right? Sniffs fingers after pumping gas. No, I'm not a huge fan of the gasoline smell. I'm okay with it. Gasoline smells fine. Just not a massive fan. Hey, Truth, not too much, buddy. I almost didn't stream once again because although I don't look like it on the surface, I am massive ball of anxiety and stress for like the past 2 weeks. So I'm not even going to get into that. But yeah, pre-divorce and post-divorce, obviously showing off that she's dropped like half a person.
If I see one more glow up post divorce video, y'all couldn't do that for a man you love. Y'all love to lose a man and then look the way you should have looked during the relationship. Why do y'all get so comfortable physically and then y'all be like, he was so mean to me, he told you he was getting unattracted, you ignored him, but now he's monogamous with somebody he's unattracted to, and if he cheats and finds somebody who he's attracted to, he's going to be a terrible man. But if he breaks up with you because you look like that, he's a terrible man. You literally proving his goddamn point.
So, hey, Lugia, not too much, buddy. Didn't miss too much. We got a kind of a late start. I get what he's saying here, and I agree to some extent. I will say that there are other factors too that play into relationships, especially when one person really lets themselves go. You don't know what the guy looks like. The guy could be 400 pounds for all this guy knows.
You proving everybody's point. You proving all of our points. Put in the effort when you got us. Why do you lock us down? And then you make us tolerate that. Then you'll be talking about, oh, he was such a terrible man to me. You were horrible to him. Look what he had to wake up to every day. That! Pounding beers and shit. Now all of a sudden you a gym girl. Are you kidding me?
Again, without knowing all the facts, it's hard to say, oh yeah, he's got 100% spot on. But depending on, I mean, all you can see is some guy's wrist right here. He's got kind of chunky looking forearms, maybe. I imagine that neither one of them was exactly much of a looker, okay? Let's be honest. Sprayed ether? What? All over your whole truck? That's crazy. Tension and obsession destroys many kinds of relationships and life routines, life achievements. Yeah, I think it's an interesting conversation, but it's like, without knowing all the details, it's kind of hard to actually be like, oh yeah, see, women all do this, right? Dude, the craziest shit is trending today. This is insane. Here's a fun one. Mari, you're here just in time. Japanese girls were asked if they think there are any handsome men in India. I have not actually watched this yet. He's out of line, but he's right. Yeah, I think that's in general like a fair assessment. When I read out a country's name, if you think there are lots of handsome men in that country, respond with handsome. India. What's your image of India? It stinks. That is absolutely brutal. Now, the funny one was I saw this also, and apparently, according to a community note, this was a piece of information. Mari, maybe you can shed some light on this. This was apparently the Japanese government incentivizing bringing African migrants to Japan. But according to the community note that is being voted on right now, it says the Japanese government has not backtracked on any plan. The migrant plan never existed. It's false information that was spread by foreign sources. Japanese government has called for people to stop spreading fake information. So, really curious about this one. I actually hadn't heard too much about it. Are the Japanese girl twins? I have no idea. Well, she looked happy, but she certainly looked heavy, which again, that happens to people. But it's just, it cracks me up when you don't know what the guy looks like. And I mean, the guy might have been fit as a fiddle, who knows? But yeah, this is one that, again, I get a little hesitant when I see things that are shared by this Colonel Otaku Gatekeeper guy. He's the non-Japanese man who is pretending to be Japanese for like the last couple of years. Here you go, guys. This is one that's going to hurt for me because I actually haven't watched this yet. Apparently, there's a new clip of the Office series called The Paper. Now, the funny thing is, it's actually following around like the Dunder Mifflin documentary crew style, but it's a Midwestern newspaper. But the thing about this that's going to drive me nuts, first off, I don't want The Office to be remade. That's like the whole Harry Potter remake thing. Just leave it alone. You're not going to be able to make it as good as it once was, so just kind of leave it alone, right? Furthermore, there's already a movie called The Paper that's a Michael Keaton movie, so this is going to confuse a lot of people. Japan's having a migrant crisis. Japan has a from what I've seen, they've got a tourist crisis, you know. Too many disrespectful tourists. Am I too critical of modern TV, or is there just nothing good, nothing original? Like literally, even though again there might be funny moments, I just have no desire to watch this. Like Parks and Rec 2. Parks and Rec was good up until that final season. That time jump thing was weird as hell. No, it won't be able to make internet memes. Here's the thing. The Office was made in a time where there were still memorable moments, memeable moments on TV, so that people could actually like remember those, and collectively everyone, like if you mention again, everyone knows the World of Warcraft episode on South Park, right? One of the most viral episodes ever to come out of that show. Same way that everyone knows the scene on The Office where Toby comes back and Michael's like, no, God, please, no, you know? If you talk to anybody who watched The Office, we all know the episode where Michael cooks his foot. Well, any of those episodes. So the problem nowadays is there's no like collective memeable TV show. Sure, there's a subset of people who are, oh, I love Breaking Bad or I love Game of Thrones, but I just feel like the memeable parts of it are past. You know, they're gone. Both of the same picture? Oh, the bill was canceled. Okay. Here, guys, give me one sec. Oh man. Yeah, I'll make sure to lock it. No shared culture. Everyone watches much smaller creators platforms now. I mean, to some degree, look, there are still shows people watch, but I think in general, I just think it's like the meme worthiness of shows has kind of moved on. All right, Mari, take it easy. Sorry, guys. Apparently, my kids left my van open. They were getting into their baseball stuff today because we got fall baseball starting. And one of the neighbors came over and was like, I think your van is left open. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I'll have to wring my son's neck tomorrow. Office, like, this is going to be terrible. Holy crap. Tucker was last mega news personality. Now watchers have spread to many more small sources. I mean, yeah, certainly talking about the news, that's the thing. Oh, here's a good one, guys. The BBC has another series called King and Conqueror. It's branded woke and historically inaccurate for featuring black actors playing Anglo-Saxons. Series portrays the historical Battle of Hastings in 1066 between William, Duke of Normandy, and King Harold Godwinson of England. Oh my god. Dude. These aren't even hairstyles from back then, are they? Oh yeah, truth. I hate the fact that I've always wanted to go to Japan, but as a respectful tourist, right? I could probably fairly well integrate myself over there if I had to move there with my family and adopt a lot of the culture and customs and be very respectful. But unfortunately, it seems like a lot of people have a hard time with that for some reason. You know? Especially with like this, a lot of the IRL streamers, I think. Yeah, let's count the diversity check. I want to go to Japan. Oh, dude, you can't go as a kaiju. Come on. Like, I get it, but no. The fragmentation of all media, sure. No, I freaking despise the IRL streamers. Dude, there was one. Who's that chick? Extra Emily? Just got kicked out of a restaurant because she walked in and she's like, oh my god, guys, I've never eaten here before and I'm just so excited. And literally the dude behind the counter told her, yeah, you gotta leave, you're too loud. Didn't even let her sit down, okay? These IRL streamers are the absolute freaking worst. Here's a fun one, guys. I just saw Big Fry share this on Twitter the other day. Have you seen this new feature on YouTube where you can hype a video? So, you guys know we've got the whole leaderboard thing going on. Currently, it looks like Truth is number 1. My bot somehow is number 3, and Quillpig is number 2 on the leaderboard. Apparently, you can also hype a video, but not just hype a video with like artificial channel points. Apparently, you can purchase hype points on YouTube to try to hype up a video. Not even kidding. So YouTube is doing everything they can to copy other platforms like Twitch and stuff. Although they're completely like demonetizing channels left and right and trying to suppress certain channels, certain topics. So you got hype at no cost and then earn a badge by hyping. You can earn a hype star badge for a channel being one of the viewers that hype the channel the most in a given month. You can share the badge, yada yada. I have no idea how much it costs to purchase hype for a video. It's absolutely insane. Oh, here it is. So it says, tap hype on the card, select the number of points you'd like to send. YouTube automatically updates the number of points your hype is worth based on the creator's subscriber count. Pay to hype, select the number of points, then hit hype and then buy. So freaking retarded. You've seen it? Check out the host. Dude, I saw something about that. So like another new feature, jump on abusing it to make it big. That's what people do. Okay, so to me, it screams of platforms like Twitter and Twitch always saying, oh, we want to crack down on bots. We got to get bots under control. There's too many bots, right? And then they just seemingly make it easier for bots to infiltrate the platform and artificially boost certain creators and streamers. And it's insane. Yeah, YouTube's now pay to win, pretty much. Exactly. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what impact it's going to have on the channel or on the viewership of like the videos to do the hype thing, but it's just something I noticed. I'm like, this is incredibly stupid. Here's a good one, guys. Shouldn't surprise anybody. From Variety, Pedro Pascal is circling a lead role in Todd Haynes' gay romance Denosh as production plans restart. All right. Honest to God, I've said for years now, this guy just needs to come out of the closet already. This might be his coming out moment. Clifford the Big Red Dog to Kaiju. I mean, maybe canonically he is. I don't know. Pedro Pascal is circling the lead role in Todd Haynes' Denosh as the shuttered production plans to restart. If the deal closes, Pascal would star opposite Danny Ramirez, with the pair playing a corrupt cop and his younger lover as they flee 1930s Los Angeles for Mexico. Joaquin Phoenix was previously attached to the project, which stalled last year.
It is like this tangible thing that you can point to and say, hey man, I love you. This many dollars worth.
I bet you they won't show hype videos that are controversial, especially the SCHOOL shish ting.
So, Lucia, thanks for the 5, and that's really interesting to bring up because we're going to talk about that towards the end of the stream if we get that far. In fact, let me do this. Let me bring this up real quick. since there's only really one notable channel on YouTube that consistently covers this stuff, and even though it's kind of cringe, it is The Quartering. And so let me show kind of like what his viewership was like today, because he did like 4 videos on this shit. I didn't watch any of them because I've been following it on Twitter myself, so I didn't need to. Let me see here. Hey, Cage. Watching Yellow Jackets. Have fun. Joaquin Phoenix early life was crazy. Kind of surprised I haven't seen a movie about that. Yeah, no kidding. So if you look at his viewership, guys, he had videos. The Quartering has been hurting bad for views, and I say that as somebody who's also had ups and downs with how often I actually post and stuff. So I understand viewership. You slump from time to time. He's had some really bad views, like some really bad video views over the past couple weeks. Then all of a sudden, he's been getting back up into like the high 100,000, 200,000 on some of them. But like 7 days ago, he had one that was 34,000 views, 26,000 views for a channel that's got what? 1.5 million views or subscribers, 1.87 million subscribers. Okay. But today, talking about something that should have been a very taboo topic, he did 3 videos in a row. His last one didn't do as well, but he got 127,000 views on his second video covering this, with the word trans in the thumbnail, which I find to be kind of surprising. So while YouTube definitely tries to keep a lid on certain things, it is weird to see them once in a while allowing, like him talking about Raja Jackson, I think his name is, Rampage Jackson's kid that beat the hell out of that wrestler. That video got 135,000 views, and it's all racially charged. Same with this video about Carmelo Anthony. So I don't know. It's weird to try to figure out why and how YouTube suppresses certain topics. Is he always out of breath? Because he's like 350 pounds. I don't know, man, to be honest. I mean, he claimed... Okay, so The Quartering has done this in the past where he's like, oh, my channel's under attack, my channel's dying, this is the end. And then he'll make another video explaining why he crashed out, and then he'll make another video explaining how he's got health issues, how he's trying to start a family even though he's like 45 and he's not having kids, how he's got anxiety, how he's got crippling anxiety that makes him have breathing issues, and this is, he's done this before. So, yeah. They're rolling it out in certain countries. If you're in the country, it's too bad for you. Which features are we talking about? Oh, the hype thing? Yeah. Lack of entertainment made an error on his video yesterday where nobody's complaining about video error. I was also one of the fastest not following the narrative. Check out D-Day Cobra live stream from today. I mean, I'll check it out. I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't follow Geeks and Gamers at all. I don't follow Ryan Cannell. I just don't, for whatever reason. His live stream got 30,000 views from today. That's pretty crazy. I'm not going to go through the whole live stream, though. That is crazy. So D-Day Cobra has given up entirely on making videos and is only live streaming now. That's interesting. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm not going to give up on making videos because I enjoy making videos, but it's been incredibly hard with life and everything else I've got going on right now to actually sit down and think clearly enough to make one. But I would never give up making videos. That's a really strange move. I mean, his streams do fine for viewership, but, like, that's crazy. I don't follow Ryan because he cusses too much. Desert, welcome in, buddy. And I agree. Like, cussing doesn't really bother me, to a certain extent. Hey, Joe. Hey, again, welcome in, Desert. I used to The Quartering. I don't follow Ryan because he cusses. You only watch D-Day Cobra's shorts. He got double the views on the live stream versus his norm. Right. He has a round robin of clickbait. Are we talking about The Quartering again? Yeah. To a certain extent. All right, Cage, enjoy your show, buddy. I've heard Yellow Jackets is good. I just haven't gotten around to watching it. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting Desert and Burner are the same guy. I'm sorry, Burner. I've had trouble even watching the stream because I've been doing construction nonstop. Oblivion, here's the thing. I don't get upset with anybody if they're too busy for a live stream, if they don't have time to watch a video, if a video is not interesting to them. Dude, I have watched, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I keep saying it and I'm going to say it again. You can see on the left over here, all the channels I am subscribed to. Okay? Now, 50% of these are channels that I'm subscribed to because they're fellow content creators. And even if I don't watch their videos, I don't want to unsubscribe because I don't want to hurt their subscriber numbers. So I'm just going to leave my subscription alone there. I just don't watch their videos. Then you got like Zach over at MetaPCs. And I like Zach. Zach's awesome. MetaPCs is awesome. I don't really watch most of his videos because a lot of it's just on like graphics card, processor news. And it's not stuff that I really pay too much attention to, but he does good work, whatever. Yellow Flash, he does the same kind of content as the Quartering. Hypnotic covers the same kind of stuff, so I just don't watch their videos regularly, right? I haven't watched a single YouTube video in probably the last 3 days, okay? Out of all these people that I'm subscribed to, I've popped into a live stream like twice, and I haven't watched a single freaking video. And it's not anybody's fault. It's just, sometimes it's just the way things go, you know? Sometimes people are just not in the mood. Sometimes there's other things in life. Sometimes we just don't care, you know? He only does rage bait videos. I mean, I'll be honest, guys. The only thing I don't like about Ryan Cannell is like it's hard to look at him because his head is so tiny. I don't know enough about him as a person to not like him or anything like that. But I know, but I want to support the channel. Well, Oblivion, but here's the thing. I appreciate the support. But at the same time, it's like if you had something else to do besides being here and hanging out, I would not be upset if you couldn't make it to a stream. It wouldn't, like, you know, that's just kind of how I feel about it. And I appreciate you being here. I would never tell you not to be here. It's more like I'm right there with you guys. I totally understand. Sometimes we have more important shit to do, you know? Robot Head is fantastic. God, I love Robot Head. So Robot Head, I wish he covered more than just Star Wars. I know he once in a while does other stuff, but like he doesn't make videos very often. And I get it. He puts a lot of time and work into his videos. Where's Robot Head at over here? Here we go. My boy follows me back on Twitter. He's awesome. Yeah, he hasn't made a video in 2 weeks. Wow. But see, most of his stuff is on Star Wars primarily. And it was kind of fun. I mean, watching him break down the Acolyte saved me from having to watch it. Kind of like when Kata was watching Ironheart. Kata, his freaking review of Ironheart was fantastic. It saved me from having to, suffer through that shit. So I massively appreciate him doing that, you know. Not a big fan of the frat bro vibe on Geeks and Gamers. So I will tell you guys one thing. And this is the funniest part. When my channel first started growing pretty well last year, people were like, why aren't you on Hypnocast? Why aren't you on Side Scrollers? Why aren't you on Geeks and Gamers? Why aren't you on X, Y, and Z? The truth is, I was never invited. Nobody ever asked me. So a lot of times there is kind of a frat boy culture to some of this stuff. Now, Hypnotic has actually invited me on his show, but he knows that I'm not a big fan of panel streams and that we have timing conflicts. But Hypnotic, to his credit, has actually he's offered to have me on there. I'm just like, dude, it's fine. 9 people in one stream is a bit much for me, you know? Whole Trump, Putin, Zelensky's annoying. Ukraine got mugged twice. I understand why the right sees it that way. Who chats on X mostly? Who we're talking about? Viewbotting is disgraceful. Viewbotting sucks, man. Viewbotting is the worst thing ever. And really, the sad part about it is you should let your viewership be stand for itself, because at the end of the day, who cares if you've got 20 viewers or 200 or 2,000? If your content's good, or if your viewers enjoy your content, or if people want to hang out and chat, it's going to show in the fact that you have consistent viewership. Who cares if one stream you've got thousands more than the previous, you know? I don't like side scrollers. I got kicked from their Discord for not using preferred pronouns. Seriously? Oh, Robot Head chats on X. Yeah, he's funny. Tend to feel geeks and gamers, mainly Jeremy DA, pulls people in, hopes that their own channels do not grow more than having him on his channels. Yeah, I mean, that is true there. I mean, again, I'm not going to speak to Jeremy specifically, but I think that there's something to be said for that. Here's a good one, guys. Is anybody surprised by this? Crystal Dynamics laying off more people following the Perfect Dark cancellation. Again, this is like saying water's wet. All these freaking studios keep getting shut down or canceling games, and then an article comes out like a month later from IGN and Rebecca Valentine saying it's unclear how many were impacted. Well, I'm gonna guess most of them, like 90% of them. Yeah, Robot Head's awesome. He's got a fantastic personality too. Again, most of my interactions with him are on Twitter, but dude's awesome. Here's some good news, guys. I am currently, I know Patriot, he's not here right now, but I'm sure he's with us in spirit. He's been trying to spoil Act 2 of Expedition 33 for me for like the last 2 months. And I finally got to the epilogue, Act 3 of Expedition 33. And I'm like, holy shit, this game's fantastic, right? I already knew it was great, but I didn't realize how amazing the story was. So apparently we're going to get more games. They're saying that Expedition 33 is not the end, that Clair Obscur is going to be the franchise, and we're going to get other stories to go with it. So I'm pretty excited about this. This, and them making a movie in a couple years, which I'm kind of hesitant about. Still a little worried, a little concerned about how well they're going to do, but, you know, the fact that we're going to be getting more games in this franchise is awesome, in my opinion. I hate that word impacted. You mean fired? Yeah, pretty much. Oh, the Side Scrollers Discord was not started by the Side Scrollers crew. So it's like an unofficial Discord. Interesting. Yeah, no, Crystal Dynamics' new Tomb Raider, that'll be an interesting thing to see happen. I don't know. Maybe because I've been on the receiving end. Yeah, it's never fun when it's you, right? They linked in the YouTube descriptions too. It was official. Oh, interesting. I don't know. Craig slid into my DMs one time after I put some posts out on Twitter, did some investigating on something. I shot him some links a couple times, but that's the extent of our conversations behind the scenes. So, you know, this is one of these moments where it's like real life has kind of taken me away from YouTube, taken me away from doing articles and investigating stuff and actually making my channel grow. This is why YouTube is what it is, guys. I'm currently in a negative channel growth for the last 28 days. I'm sub 3 subscribers, I think. Whereas 28 days ago, I had finally gotten back to where I was like positive by like 200 for the 28-day period. So the thing is, unless you have time to be consistent with it, in a situation like mine, YouTube is just going to be what it's going to be. And like I said, it's really hard to be part of the in crowd or the you know, like the sorority, the frat bros, not sorority bros. I think Craig's a normie, flows with it, wins a subscription, takes him. I mean, possibly. Crystal Dynamics is close to shutting down because they wasted all their money on PD and then no one liked it. Dude, the thing about Perfect Dark, as it came out a couple weeks ago, they didn't even have a game. So they said that they had like their demo of the game, but it turns out their demo, their vertical slice or whatever, was basically just created by AI and wasn't even a playable, functioning thing. It was just, well, this is what we want it to look like, you know? I don't think it's awful, just not particularly worth watching. For me, the funny thing about Craig and Side Scrollers was when they had the Grums, Razorfist, Melanie Mac trio that they'd have rotating through the show, and then one by one they stopped having any of them on, and it all kind of hit the fan all at the same time. But watching, here's the thing, I know the allegations against Razorfist, and a lot of people hate Razorfist, a lot of people are still fans of Razorfist. I'm indifferent at this point. I'm inconclusive, I'm indifferent, I just don't tend to watch this stuff anymore. But when Razorfist sat there basically saying to Grums, well, you could be a scammer and you might be a scammer, but who cares because you're doing an important job. That's where I kind of like was like, I'm gonna check out. I'm done, right? I'm out of here. Having spent a good amount of time talking with Craig behind the scenes, I can tell you he's genuine. Yeah, I don't think Craig is disingenuous at all. Melanie Mac's a weird one. I don't even try to figure her out anymore. Either she's fake and it's all an act, or she's real and she's strange, but not my issue. All right, so let's get into more of the meat and bones of some of this stuff. He's too loud. Yeah, I mean, I like some of his older content, but again, everything in small doses. So, disclaimer from Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Remake. I put it on Keymailer to try to get a copy of this game. I haven't gotten my request approved yet, so we'll see. If I get a copy, then I'll go ahead and play it. I don't think it's on Game Pass. So this is apparently, much like every other modern game these days, it's a remake or a remaster or whatever, has a warning before the game starts. It says, this game contains expressions and themes from the original version, which may be considered outdated and have been included without alteration to preserve the historical context in which the original game was made and the creator's original vision. Player discretion is advised. I freaking love this shit. Oh, DEG Mod says this type of warning message is silly, but if it wants to be added, it should be something like this. Game contains fictional content. Some players may struggle with it as a result of not being able to separate fiction from reality and are advised to seek psychiatric help. For the majority who can enjoy. That's awesome. Dude, I freaking love that. I like Razor Rants, don't care much for his live stuff. Melanie Max, pretentious brat. She ran all the way to Threads to post. Yeah. Warning for Gen Z. Dude, it's so bad. I mean, people complained about... Again, I hate to dive into the whole generational warfare shit, because honestly, anybody since the boomers has gotten kind of screwed. So I'm kind of like, all of us are in this together, whether you're Gen Z, Millennial, or Gen X. But it is funny that it's like, Millennials have been viewed very negatively in the past, but honestly, these warnings I don't think are for Millennials. This definitely has like Gen Z written all over it. Slightly more right than centrist. They're more crazy to open talk to anyone. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Craig, you're right. He has been willing to just like talk with anybody. Okay, so here we have from Learning the Law. Says, ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you, Konami has ruined Eva's physics in the infamous, not infamous, in the famous, they think it's infamous, cave scene from Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. The PS2 version remains undefeated. Money saved, mission failed. Mahendra, you sent this after I saw it on Twitter. Actually, I already had this bookmarked when you sent it. But I haven't really like tried to dissect it too much to see what the difference is. Obviously, the one on the bottom looks better as far as like lighting and stuff. But I don't know if this is a situation where they got rid of jiggle physics or something. Like I guess the boob jiggle's more on the top side. I'm struggling here on this one to see a difference. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this isn't me trying to be like a contrarian. Other than that first boob jiggle moment, the one on the bottom looks better. Like, take that one little jiggle out of the... right there. That jiggle right there. So they... in this frame here where her boob jiggles on the side, they have the arm instead blocking it. But there's obviously no jiggle there. So this is a thing we've seen before, though, guys. That they tone down jiggle physics in modern gaming. Again, they don't want to offend anybody, right? That's their entire approach. I will say credit to them. The character model looks better. Obviously, the bottom one looks better as far as the actual body goes. The face is kind of frightening. The face, I'm not so sure about. Can I turn the video quality? 720p is the highest it goes. Damn. Not so sure about the face. The face on the top might look better. Capcom on Steam is crap. You can't get bargains like Humble Bundle. But beyond this, has anyone ever been offended by seeing a boob jiggle? Maybe gay men. I don't know. Need to do some homework on this. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if it's a thing, if it was intentional, here's my thing about it. If it was intentional, and they intentionally toned it down, that's bad. They shouldn't tone down jiggle physics. That's stupid. But on the flip side, if there's a moment where you have to like literally freeze frame it to see it, are you splitting hairs? You know, that's where I get is kind of like, if it was a prolonged scene where there's jumping up and down and bouncing, it was more obvious. This feels like such a small example. And I haven't seen any other frames showcasing this, any other scenes, just this one, you know? Anyone who's offended isn't going to play it anyways. Offense confirmed. Hey, there you are, Patriot. Let's see. Feeling I get to all these. He held a weird thing with DSP where he was trying to split apologies from that guy. I don't like him, but that felt evil. Well, okay. Can we be fair? DSP is awful. He sucks ass. Okay. Metaphorically, obviously. I don't know what he does in his bedroom or personal time. And then of course we have performance issues. Notice from Metal Gear official says we've received reports of several issues and are preparing a patch to address them. We'll share an update as soon as it's ready. Thank you for your patience and support. Known issues. Performing an additional survival knife attack after completing a series of consecutive attacks to secure food may cause the game to crash. Oh boy. Removing the crocodile cap from the survival viewer while it's equipped may cause the game to crash. Collecting food when a hungry crocodile is nearby may cause the game to crash. Don't they have, like, testers for this shit? Holy crap. Of course, they toned it down. There's no giving them the benefit of the doubt anymore. Oh, no. Hey, Black Cat, how you doing? I'm not saying give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm talking about, like, I'm curious why there's no other examples of it in other parts of the game. You know? I'm still waiting to see if, like, there's other scenes. Because I've never played the game. So I don't know if, like, this character is in a bathing suit for a prolonged period of time or what the story is there. DSP is the king of all lolcows. Transitioning from a roll into a crawl may result in the character model floating. I wanted to say crash, but apparently that doesn't cause it to crash. Let's see, in the areas where the camera switches to intrusion view, character movement may become restricted. Opening the radio window under certain conditions may cause the game to crash. Basically, a whole lot of crashes. I mean, when's Battlefield going to fix the fact that AMD graphics cards crash? Because I swear to God, every person I saw online that said Battlefield 6 was crashing on them was an AMD user. Q&A is no longer something that exists in modern gaming. Yeah, pretty much. No, apparently all the early access people, those people that bought the game are the Q&A testers, right? Then, of course, you got from Nick Tech here. It says Metal Gear Solid struggling to hit 60 frames per second with a 5090 and a 9800 X3D. That's pretty chunky specs there. Holy crap.
Okay. Oh my god, that's another massive stutter. Okay. Oh, UE5, just chill out for a moment, alright? It actually spent a lot of time loading the game for the first time, you know, when I first launched it. So I guess it did load the shaders or preload the shader cache or whatever. I hope it did so, because otherwise this will happen a lot.
Oh my god, that's terrible, dude.
It's not playable now. What? Are you serious? I get that I'm playing the game early, you know, like it will only launch in a couple of days, but I paid 90 euros for this. I'm just gonna keep on rolling with these 1%
90
lows,
euros
you know,
for that, holy crap.
0 FPS, 1% lows, and that's it. That's over 60.
That's Nick Tech, I think, yeah. Capped at 60 frames per second, I think. So another person had a video where they said that they fixed it. This is Nick Tech says, I'm finally able to get stable 60 frames per second in Metal Gear Solid Delta on my Radeon RX 9070 XT. I think he said he had a 5900 or 5090. Well, it probably has multiple computers, I'm sure. Plus the R7 9800 X3D combo. All you have to do is set the resolution to 720p and set FSR to performance mode. Oh my god. Seriously? Dude, that is garbage. Stalker 2 on my old graphics card looked better than this, and that was questionable.
Who's that?
Same setup as yours? You know, a 9070 is a good card. I mean, I'm happy with my 9060, especially for the price I paid for it. This is what they meant on outdated on the warning. I don't know. I feel like I could never get into the Metal Gear games. I played and completed Twin Snakes on the GameCube, and I might have played one other Metal Gear game in my entire life. But there's something about the combat and the stealth parts of these games. I feel like it's almost kind of retarded in a way. Like, obviously, you have to know what you're doing to not look like an idiot. But what he's doing here, where he's walking and getting shot and going straight into people's faces to stealth attack them, I feel like this is how I played the game back in the day. What's good? Not the illegals. That's what. Hey, Tekla. There's been instances of deliberate sabotage in the past, I guess, between brands. Oh, really? Are we talking about GPUs? Yeah, I got the 16 gig version. No, I was, for $50 difference, I'm like, if I'm going to spend $300 on a graphics card, which I didn't want to spend, but I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to do it because I need a new card. I'm going to get the 16 gig version. There'd be no reason to get the 8 gig, honestly. Man, that's terrible. That's awful. You stopped Metal Gear at Solid? Metal Gear Rising I've heard is good, and then again, Metal Gear Snake Eater is the one that I heard was like the best one out of all of them. Both GPUs and CPUs, yeah. So here's a fun one. I'm sure you guys saw this. I was going to make a video on this a couple days ago, but making videos right now has been so freaking tough. I'm in this weird place between, like, I don't want to do scripted videos, but I want to be able to do videos where everything flows, and I want to have everything I want to include in it the minute that I'm thinking about it. So it's kind of like a clusterfuck I've made for myself, right? It's terrible. But unfortunately, I haven't even had the time or energy, and it's been so friggin' hot. Like, this is the first day in a week where I have actually my window closed in the kitchen and my back door shut, and I'm not wearing a tank top, and there's no fan running, and I'm not sweating to death, right? So I can actually think and breathe. It's amazing. I have a little concern for the frames per second cap on most games. Even though I can run most games with no cap, I tend to force cap them at 60. Yeah, I think just let most of them get capped at 60. I'm not like an FPS whore. Like, I'm not one of these guys like, I need at minimum of 90 FPS or 100. I don't really care that much, to be honest. My monitor is a cheapy Asus monitor I got for like $100 5 years ago, guys. I truly don't care about the most amazing picture quality and about the most amazing frames. It's not something I really care, you know? You have to make video, also think about thumbnail and title, and so no watcher can click the video. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot, Mahendra. It's a lot to put into it. And then it's like, okay, so once you get everything else put together, you're going to second guess your title. You're going to second guess your thumbnail. The first couple of hours it gets no views. You go, okay, do I need to change thumbnail? YouTube is it's a mind melt, man. It's not good for your mental health. I'll tell you that. If you spend too much time worrying about it, that is. Oh, thanks, Drop of Water. Nah, man, it's growing on its own. I need to do something with it. I haven't decided yet. The wife finally said maybe it's time for a trim. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. It's more than anything, it's the sides that need to be trimmed up. This stuff that gets all wispy over here that has all the gray hair in it. The length isn't so much a problem, although I can damn near touch my eyeballs with the length on this beard. It's crazy. As long as it clocks 60 frames per second, it's all good. Yeah, pretty much. 4K, 32-inch, 100 hertz plus prices are nuts. So there are some decent monitors at Costco, and now that I moved my shit around on my desk, I could probably get a bigger monitor. Guys, I use a 27-inch monitor. I can't remember what size both my monitors are. They're either 24s or 27s. I don't think they're very big. If you don't make video, you still get views because thumbnail and title, because they'll complain on the comments. Oh, man. The wife's right. Yeah, it's probably time for a trim. Largest panel I'm willing to do? Do you mean like on a panel stream? Or are we talking about like monitors? It is a little manly, but I'm not too worried about my masculinity. It was just more about, you know, I've never let my beard just grow. Even when I've had a beard, I've kept it short. So this is just a new thing. This is, dude, when I was doing like my Halloween costume last year, I dressed up as Elon Musk. So I had the Mars t-shirt, and I tried to do like his whole outfit with the black MAGA hat and stuff. I ended up shaving my beard. And so I started up, this is just since November 1st, basically last year. So we're not even at a year yet. No, Quill, and here's the thing about the clickbait. Clickbait, the funny thing is YouTube rolled that new rule about clickbait out where they're going to like deboost clickbait thumbnails and deboost articles that or videos that are, clickbait. No, they don't. There is still tons of clickbait rolling around, okay? Hey, Geek, I am back. Guys, I'm sorry that I bailed on Monday. I just, holy crap, I couldn't. It was so hot. I was so tired. I've been so exhausted the past couple weeks because of just life and stress and the heat. Yeah, Mahendra, honestly, if it's a topic that, well, here's the thing. Comments, like people arguing in a comment section on a video will help it in the algorithm because at least it's interaction. So it's not the worst thing. 32-inch 2K are the sweet spot. I'll have to try to take a look on that. Can damn near touch my eyeballs with the length of my... Yeah, no, not that. Was when I shaved almost a year ago. It was October 31st, man. Everything in the beard's false. Yeah, no, this thing is... It's very much real. It's very attached. I've gotten to where if I'm trying to shave the neck, shave right here, or brush my teeth, I actually can put it into a little ponytail. And so I'll just get one of my daughter's hair ties and put it into a ponytail and then take it back out. But yes, Geek, I unfortunately have been just mentally, physically overloaded, stressed out. I've got a pounding headache right now, guys. I'm not even going to pretend. My headache is killing me, dude. Think about putting Sydney Sweeney in my crap music video thumbnails just to see if it helps get traffic. Largest panel for a stream. I don't know, 3 or 4 is fine. When I've jumped on Moxie's channel, when she's had me on and stuff, not for the Star Trek script reading, that's different. The Star Trek script reading, that requires people doing voices and everybody has a part, no one's talking over the top of each other. But an actual panel discussion, once you get past 3 or 4 people, what the hell's the point? You're going to have those 2 or 3 people who are sitting there awkwardly, quietly, literally adding nothing to the conversation because they're just not going to be able to contribute because there's just too many people, too many voices. That's where it's like I said, I told you, Hypnotic was kind enough to invite me on, and if it ever worked out as far as timing, I probably would go ahead and jump on one of his streams sometime. But in general, streams with a panel that size, it just feels like, dude, you're just literally trying to shout over the top of each other, or there are people who are just offering nothing to the conversation. I have covered it in the past. I think it looks awesome. I think it's going to be a banger, hopefully. I don't have too many concerns about it. I think personally it's going to be, it'll be interesting if it releases around the same time as Witcher 4. That'll be something that's definitely worth looking into, I think Drinker has too many people. I don't watch Critical Drinker. I don't think I've ever seen a single video or stream. I used to watch Nerdrotic. I don't know. I got kind of burned out on Nerdrotic, to be honest. And not because he's done it. This is the thing, guys. I'm burned out on YouTube. It's not anybody's fault. I don't oh, Nerdrotic sucks. No, Nerdrotic does good videos. I don't know. I'm in a very weird place in life right now. I'll just say that. Check out Mr. Kitty, After Dark, Jennifer Connelly. Anything with Jennifer Connelly back in the day is going to be good for views, man. No more than 6. Yeah, it's tough, dude. It's really tough. Coffee fixes headaches. No, I'm having my herbal tea. I had my energy drink too late in the day today, so it didn't kick in until way later. So I'm just dealing with weird sleeping schedule, not enough sleep because it's been too warm, and of course, dude, stress. Oh my God. I've still got to figure out moving at some point, and I wanted to get moved before October, before Halloween, so we could maybe have a Halloween party for the kids. I'm not doing it here. I'm not doing it in our shitty apartment. That's just not happening. Not enough time? Yeah, dude, there's not enough time for anything in life, man. Ran across guy, never seen before, can't find it again. Oh, man. Thanks, Mahendra. Dude, Oblivion, that is so life. It happens to me all the time. Girl in the show would be cute except septum ring. It's like a shining beacon of nope. Which show are we talking about? Oh, you're talking about, Yellow Jackets, yeah. You stopped watching Friday Night Tights? I tried, okay, I tuned in for 1 or 2 of the live streams. I think it was back during Rings of Power Season 1. It's been a while since I've actually checked out any of his streams. Dude, it'd be fantastic. And look, I don't want Witcher 4 to suck. I want Witcher 4 to be good. I just don't have high hopes given the fact that they're jacking the whole thing up to make Cirilla the female Geralt. Then of course you had the gaslighting over her being ugly before and then not ugly in the demo that they released. So there's a lot of controversy. Well, drop of water, I'm not going to out where I live, man. I'm staying hopefully within the city that I'm in. But I might have to move 15, 20 minutes from here. But, it's not the end of the world. I don't mind a little bit further oh yeah, Blithian, check your history, dude. As we speak, no luck. Damn. Dark Souls is killing my gender balance stats. What? Packed everything up and hired a team to load our U-Haul with us, and it was super cheap. Dude, honestly, I'm gonna probably pay a furniture mover to help with the heavy stuff. I've got a few pieces in this apartment that are probably 300 plus pounds, so I'm not gonna make us move that shit myself. It's just not happening. All right, so I've been meaning to make videos covering the whole Battlefield versus Call of Duty thing since my last one because it's been getting crazy due to the fact that Battlefield's trying to copy Call of Duty. Call of Duty is seemingly trying to copy Battlefield, and I feel like both games are starting to lose their identity to a certain extent because now apparently Call of Duty is not going to have their skins from Black Ops 6 carry over into Black Ops 7, which is really funny given the fact that you've got half the people saying, well, this is bullshit. I want to use the skins that I had in Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7. Meanwhile, you've got Call of Duty trying to say, look, guys, we hear you. All this Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead crap that we're putting in the game, people are tired of it. Yeah, moving's it's the worst. He can drive to FatCon in about an hour from where he lives. That is true. That is very true. I actually was thinking about that today, DB. I have to... Oh, thanks, Desert. Appreciate it, yeah. I need to get a hold of Kata and Atreus, find out for sure if they're going, where they're staying up near Seattle. I assume they're staying somewhere in Seattle or around that area. Call of Fortnite, yeah. Because for the sake of making content, here's the problem, guys. Would it be weird if somebody my size, slim, fit, short, not black, okay, went with two black guys to FatCon in Seattle? Like, wouldn't that be like an obvious troll? Like, I'm just going for shits and giggles. I mean, I don't know. I don't want some like 400-pound woman to crush me out of anger. I'd be worried that they would like stampede me or some shit. I don't know. I would die to see Atreus and Kata in person, having all them 400-pound women try to get their numbers or something. That'd be great. Oh, man. I really want Witcher 4 to be awesome and Blood of the Dawn Walker. I just haven't tempered my expectations. Yeah, that's the hard part. Especially like with so much modern gaming, you really have to try to like curb your excitement a little bit. 55% of y'all smell your books. Okay. Interesting. They have to catch you first. That is true. I can still outrun them. Oh, yeah. Beavis, the whole cornholio thing. Yep. Fortnite is adding the gorillas to the game. Okay, so in defense of Fortnite, guys, I will say something. Fortnite sucks. Personal opinion as a gamer. I hate Fortnite. I understand it. I get it. Fortnite is a very well-made game, and they've captured a very large share of the audience, and I get it. Like my son, one of them plays Fortnite, and he loves it, and I get it. I think the game sucks, but I get it. Call of Duty trying to copy Fortnite is a terrible idea. Oh, Seattle sucks now, dude. For real. Moved from Seattle to go to Central Washington. Yeah, Seattle's the worst. I mean, if we go to a Mariners game, if we go to anything in the city, I pay the $50 to park in the parking garage. I refuse. I freaking refuse to walk. If I could bring my gun with me, if I could go through security and take my gun with me, I'd have no problem parking anywhere in Seattle and walking to the stadium. But no, I will pay the extra money to park in the parking garage. I would agree with you, except Minecraft I could still play and find it entertaining. No, Minecraft's better than Roblox. Minecraft is way superior than Roblox. When you get there and they give you gruff, you loudly and proudly yell, I identify as a husky woman. Who has played Fortnite? Okay. Problem is, I've played Fortnite. Not in years. Seriously, not in years. Probably More than 5 years. Have you played Fortnite? All right. Now be honest, guys. There's no shame. We can play it, but we shouldn't have a say on it. That's fair, Geek. I think that that's a fair opinion to have. Yeah, see, truth, the thing is, I can crap all over Fortnite all day long. That won't stop it from being a massively successful game, and it's successful because they know their audience. You know? It's like you can crap on Taylor Swift all you want. I think her music sucks, but I also think that whoever is behind her marketing is clearly insanely talented, because look what they created. A mid, not super hot, awkward blonde girl who doesn't have a great voice but can write catchy songs, and they made the richest superstar singer on the planet. You don't have to like Taylor Swift's music to recognize the fact that they did a fantastic job marketing her. Like, it's brilliant marketing, right? I will answer the poll by saying this: I'm a straight man. Fair enough. I have on my little cousin's PS4. Yeah, you know, like, I played Fortnite on my kid's Nintendo Switch when I first got the Nintendo Switch for him. That's what got me into other better games, like Apex Legends when it was first released. I played Fortnite on the Switch for like a couple weeks. I'm like, this is fine, but I'd rather play a more mature game. And then I found Apex, and Apex at the time was fantastic. So, still waiting for the single-player Fortnite game they were making. That's what I wanted to play. Are you talking about what Fortnite was supposed to be when it first started, which was a survival, not extraction, but a zombie survival game? Like, that was the intent behind making Fortnite. It was supposed to be a Fortnite you had to survive, right? With Fortnite's, what, 7 days or whatever? Can't remember how many days a Fortnite is. Now, when the product is made for me, an adult male, then I have the right to complain. Yeah, pretty much. And the problems the devs are trying to capture and copy. But it still seems to be working. Like, what are the numbers on Fortnite? I mean, better than Black Ops 6, that's for damn sure. Better than Black Ops 7 is going to be. The funny thing is the amount of people who think that Black Ops 7 is going to do better than Battlefield 6. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I can't imagine. Guys, here's the funniest one. So, I own several of these very scary, very dangerous, you know, things you can't show on YouTube or you'll get suspended, right? So here's the bolt, and here's the charging handle. As I recall, the bolt should be the thing sliding back with the shell casing ejecting, not the charging handle punching her in the face. But if you actually look at this GIF, I don't know if I can enlarge this. It doesn't let me enlarge it. The charging handle on this very masculine woman is going crazy right into her chin over and over and over again, and the bolt isn't even sliding back and forth on this rifle here. Apparently this isn't the first time they've done this kind of crap. Didn't even get the basic mechanics of this rifle working properly. A Fortnite's 2 weeks. Okay, thank you. 14 days. Remember playing Red Faction on independently hosted servers? It was pretty awesome. Fortnite players have children who learn to play Fortnite. Call of Duty is huge in the black community. I don't think that matters, to be honest, though. Yeah, it's pretty jacked up. It's like, I'm over here going, I still need to go take my 2 rifles that I built and take them to a range and fire, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure if I see the charging handle sliding back and forth on its own, that's a problem. Why is the charging handle on the wrong side? It's on the top. I don't think it's on the wrong side. The funny part, though, is just the fact that the bolt isn't even moving at all. Charging handle fail. Yeah, it's from Magi Gogi, or Mago. It's got 120,000 views. You'll probably find it pretty easy. Want to make a game called Fortnite that focuses on a building mechanic and making things like blanket forts and such, while being a kid imagining that he's a dragon-slaying knight. That sounds like an acid trip, but go for it, dude. Oh, yeah. Fire mechanics in games are interesting. So again, this is what I was talking about. This guy says, Call of Duty community, we don't want those cartoon skins in Black Ops 7. Call of Duty, we won't put the cartoon skins in Black Ops 7. Content creator says, W, they listened. Call of Duty community, how is that getting what we asked for? A W, I wanted to use my skins in Black Ops 7. I saw somebody had actually posted about this, a very interesting idea. where you can actually have a toggle for the person that's viewing all the hideous skins to turn off skins, like disable all skins. So if you want to see everybody in like a base military camo, uniform or jumpsuit or whatever, that you can actually have that option. I think that'd be a brilliant idea, because when playing any sort of like military shooter game, I don't want to see a bunch of retarded skins. There's occasionally ones that are kind of cool. Like I saw that one that was a Spawn crossover from a couple years ago that looked pretty awesome. But in general, I mean, if you look at this crap right here, I don't want to see this in my shooter game, especially not if it's not a futuristic. Like, I know that Black Ops is futuristic, but they're still human, right? I don't want to see this. This is awful. I mean, look at these weapons. Ironically, too, it's like both Apex and Call of Duty seem to be copying the same names of their weapons. You got Flatline here. You've got Peacekeeper here. Flatline's a automatic rifle in Apex. Peacekeeper's a shotgun. Recon. I think that's a different one. No American Dad skin, right? How about an indie game set in 1992 where you're trying to make a low-budget film? No. Yeah, no, a toggle would be fine. I think a toggle would be the absolute best way to go for Call of Duty. Or any game that has, like, hideous skins. Now, Oblivion, the thing that they'll say, the argument they'll make is, well, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, it's like, a continuation of what? Infinite Warfare or whatever. It's supposed to be futuristic. But it's like, this goes beyond just futuristic, okay? This is hideous looking. Oh, Spawn is an underutilized IP. Dude, I had Soul Calibur 2 on my GameCube, and at the time I didn't have the whatever the current version of the Xbox was. But I really wanted to buy the Xbox version of Soul Calibur because they had Spawn as a playable character in there. Fantastic character. Pussification sounds better, pretty much. How much are the skins? This is the the Vault Edition. I don't know, look it up. This is the Black Ops 7 Vault Edition. I imagine $110, probably. At least 90, probably 110. Something around that ballpark figure. Absolutely insane. And of course, Epic Mike says, translation, we realize we took it too far with these skins. Not that we will fix that, but that we will just that we get it, that we made you mad. So F your purchases, we're going to pretend to care and charge you for new slop instead. That's the thing. You're going to see hideous skins coming out of this game anyways. It's not just that, we realized we screwed up and we went too far with these skins and we're not going to have the skins moving forward. They're going to have retarded looking skins moving forward. You can bet your money that they will. It's just the fact that they're going to limit it to begin with and say, well, we're going to try to keep it somewhat grounded until the next one. Spawn was in the OG first Xbox edition. Then I just didn't buy it for my first Xbox then. Of course, I bought my Xbox a couple of years after they first came out, and then I got one used. Mind you, I had no money. I literally had no money. Anything video game related I had to purchase myself, so I probably just couldn't afford it. Andy Pants Gaming had some good calls on these skins. I have not seen any of his stuff. The song Feel Good Inc. by the Gorillaz, I say that clearly showcased the difference between indie and corporate. I don't know anything by the Gorillaz. At all. I'm not even going to pretend to know anything from the Gorillaz. Dude, the Spawn movie might be one of the worst adaptation movies of all time. Spawn's badass. The modern books are not good, though. The art's still dope as always. Well, that's because that's what Todd McFarlane or whatever. He's awesome. But that's the Spawn movie they made back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Probably one of the worst adaptation films I've ever seen in my entire life. The thing was wretched. All right, let's see here. Next up we have... Oh, here we go. Yeah, the Scottish Girl. Have you guys... I'm sure most of you guys have seen something about this, right? There's a new Spawn movie in the works. Script is done. Primarily written by McFarlane himself. He's been studio and director shopping. Yeah, John Leguizamo was the worst part of the Spawn movie. Dude, honestly, if McFarlane's that heavily involved and they cast the right actor, the thing is, they need to not cast... Look, we've seen with Hollywood, modern Hollywood, this whole pussification, this feminization of black men. And it's terrible. It's like half of these guys in Hollywood these days are these super effeminate, racially ambiguous black guys. And it's like, I grew up with like freaking Denzel Washington and shit. Like, if we're gonna have a black character, can we get, or Wesley Snipes, can we get an actual masculine black man to play him? Like, for God's sake, please, you know? All right, so this whole thing has been blowing up online over the last couple days, where we saw originally in Asmongold's clip here, you had these British cops who were undercover trying to catch guys wolf whistling at them. We covered this on the stream last week, right?
Harassing female runners.
You have illegal migrant rape gangs in your country, and you've got your fucking female officers running around a highway in order to catch people that might commit a crime. As I said before, I think the UK is potentially on the verge of a revolution.
It certainly seems that way too. I wanted Wesley Snipes to get another shot at Blade. Well, he was Blade technically in the Deadpool movie, right? I didn't watch that one, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Last 24 hours, this story has been spreading everywhere, like a match that could ignite a powder keg, after a 14-year-old Scottish girl defended herself when a migrant was caught following her and her 12-year-old sister while filming them.
So there's also context we're going to add to this, that allegedly somebody on Twitter spoke to the girl's family. They mentioned that she's 14 or 12. Somebody got the age wrong. It's either 12 or 14. There's also a third girl who's not visible on the camera here. So there's some other details as well.
Show the knife. 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 Don't touch her. That's it. That's it. Show the knife. Show the knife. That's it. Don't fucking touch my sister. She ain't fucking 12.
And I think this is like stuff like this is what radicalizes people. It's people seeing the blatant unfairness of this, and then them reacting to that because they find it offensive.
Just how many grooming gangs have we got in London?
We don't I mean, what?
Can she be clear what she means by that? I'm not clear what she means.
How much?
And I love it. They're all pretending they don't know what they mean by that. Idris Elba is busy playing Stephen King's Gunslinger. Ooh, I like Idris Elba. Don't watch the Deadpool Wolverine movie. It sucks. I've heard that it's basically all member berries and not good at whatsoever. Let me see here. Till Netflix hired him, I just wanted to see him in anything. I guess they blacklisted him for a while, something pretty petty in Hollywood like. Who are we talking about? Who did Quillpig say? Oh, Wesley Snipes. Well, Wesley Snipes went to jail for tax evasion, right? Something super based. From all I've heard, McFarlane's Spawn movie is not mainly about Spawn per se, but follows the cop Twitch, reportedly eyed for Jeremy Renner. Oh, that'd be cool. With Spawn being more of a myth in the background. Yes, that was the thing I heard a couple years ago, is that Spawn was going to be more like a shadowy figure. Don't know what the UK is doing. It's like someone has their nuts in a jar. What the hell are they allowing these jokers to run their country? Yeah.
Clear do you want me to be? Sorry, I wasn't clear enough. I was told I shouldn't be saying rape gangs. I'm talking about rape gangs.
I'm not sure why she's so nervous to say what she means. What do you mean?
No, I am saying exactly what I mean. We got any of those grooming gangs in London?
I'm unclear, Chair, what is meant by the question. If she could spell it out, I can answer.
I've just
Dude, that is like the most politically bullshit answer I've ever seen in my life.
spelled it out. Are you not listening? It's a sort of...
This should be like a Monty Python skit or something. How is this real?
Exactly how much clearer do you want me to be?
So we do have issues in London with young girls being groomed for county lines. Some of those girls are used for sex. Well, I'm still on the...
Well, drop water depends on how you look at it, right? That's really what is the intent behind it, you know? That's what it comes down to. A girl's playing as Skyrim as a dual wielder in real life, yeah.
Why she's so nervous about saying what she means.
I think that a lot of these people will really live to regret the idea. He's insinuating that what she really means is that it's Muslims or brown people or migrants or something like that. Once there are enough people together that are fed up with these types of responses, they will just say that. And then once they say that, and there's enough of them that are saying that, well,
Oblivion, it's because it was taxes, man. It's taxes. You don't mess with the IRS, that's why.
Then things are going to get pretty spicy. If those people take over, everybody that denied this, they will be lucky if they're alive. I think it will probably be one of the worst, if not the worst, political, responses that we've ever had.
Are we back or no? Silence. Oh, we are back. Okay. I don't know why YouTube is so far behind still. I changed the latency settings and stuff, so it should be further back. No, DB, I think you're the one that said it's an AI audio setting that Windows 11 pushed through. I haven't even looked into how to fix it. Ironic timing, but drop of water, this actually happens once per stream. It actually happened to me a couple weeks ago when I was trying to record a video, and I got like 12 minutes of recording done, and then I went to play it back and do my video editing, and the first 3 minutes was chopped out, and I'm like, no video, I'm done. It's some sort of weird Windows 11 update, I guess, that has caused this to randomly, during a stream, cut out. Oh, dude, I should never have let this computer update to Windows 11. I built it 6 years ago now, almost, when it was still Windows 10, and Windows 11 is the worst. Seems to happen with some YouTube videos. Dude, it's beyond frustrating. So this, of course, from the BBC, the long arm of the political, well, y'all know, this is government-sponsored media, basically, at this point. Police issue misinformation warning over girl's weapons arrest. Now, I've heard that she was arrested, wasn't arrested, I don't know. Police Scotland has warned the public not to spread misinformation after a 12-year-old girl was charged for allegedly brandishing weapons on a street in Dundee. First off, I want to live in a place called Dundee. That's awesome. Footage has been circulating on social media, accompanied by speculation over the ethnicity and actions of the people allegedly confronted by the girl. The force said a Bulgarian couple, a man and a woman, were approached by youths in St. Anne Lane, Loch, at about 1940 on Saturday. It is understood that no one else has been arrested or is wanted in connection with the incident. It's really strange that they say the youths approached them, right? D-Blow at Windows 11, yeah. Basically Big Brother, yep. Just 15 years learning how to install, maintain Arch Linux. Yeah, basically. Given how censored the images, I can only imagine she's willing to write. Dude, you can't say that. She's like 12, man. Oh my god. What was the accurate age? What was the... Yeah, 12 years old. Yeah. So a lot of people were saying 14 when the video first came out. Elon Musk, the billionaire owner of Tesla and X, shared a post on his platform about the incident to his 225 million followers. BBC News understands that officers have found no evidence to substantiate claims being made online that the youths were at risk of assault. Okay, sure. Police Scotland confirmed that the girl has been charged with possession of offensive weapons and that an investigation was ongoing. Force had said she was 14 before issuing a correction. Nicola Russell said, "We would like to thank the local community for their help with our investigation and would urge the public not to share misinformation about this incident or speculate on the circumstances." Youths equals not white, except in this situation, the youths they're talking about were the white people. Because the Bulgarian couple are the ones that were filming them. Yeah, this isn't the situation where you have like a black teenager shoots up a bus full of people or whatever, and they say teens or youths. This is actually like the youths were the white ones. Girls are 12, 14. I think the third girl is 15 or 16. Right, exactly. This is the knife. Yeah, that's a knife. Crocodile Dundee. So this person, I have no idea. Do I even follow them? I don't even follow them on Twitter. Almost 500,000 followers, okay? Aesthetica on Twitter says, I spoke with the mom of one of the girls, Maya. Maya, I believe, is the 12-year-old, and got the entire story that the media is covering up and lying about. First of all, the reporting got the names of the girls mixed up. There were 3 girls who were there who were accosted and attacked by the migrants. Lola's the 12-year-old. Is the hero from the video. She's the one with the axe defending her sister from the migrants. Ruby is Lola's older sister who was attacked and hospitalized. Maya, Ruby's best friend, was with them and went to call the police after Ruby was attacked by the migrants. Okay, so Maya wasn't in the picture at all. At least not in the video. Here's the summary of what happened from Maya's mother. So what happened was the girls were out just walking, and the man in the picture made comments to Lola, the younger girl, calling her sexy and other sexual remarks. Then the girls started to tell this man to leave them alone and stop following them and making remarks to them. After that, the man's sister, also in the picture, came around the corner and physically attacked Ruby, the older sister. She grabbed her hair, dragged her to the floor, started to punch her. Then both the man and the woman were kicking her in the head while she was on the floor. Of course, none of this is on video, right? All right, Oblivion, have a good night, buddy. Says, let's see here. At this point, my daughter Maya called the police on my daughter's account. After that is all a bit blurry, but that is when Lola had the weapon she pulled out to protect Ruby. After that, the man came back at Lola, recording her, making sure she showed the weapons to the camera and antagonizing her. Ruby was hospitalized after the attack with a severe concussion, a tennis ball-sized lump to the back of her head, as well as a lot of bruises. Working with them to get a Give, Send, Go set up. We'll report back. I'm always worried about situations like this where Give, Send, Go is involved, because it's like this person, Aesthetica, is setting up a Give, Send, Go for them. Great news, after working with the family and Lola and Ruby's mother, we have launched their Give, Send, Go fundraising campaign. I don't know. This kind of stuff, I always feel like the story might be accurate, but the fact that it's a Give, Send, Go, it's gotten 16,000 pounds so far. We have lots of islands. Take these people there. Yeah, for real. So YouTube must have hidden that video in my history because it does not exist on either account. Oblivion, you have some screwy stuff happen to you. That is the craziest thing. Yeah, the AI art about the story is pretty awesome. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about this stuff, guys, where we could all have the story wrong. This girl, if let's say they were in the backwoods somewhere in Louisiana, and she just was one of these like crackhead teenagers that was carrying a knife with her. I mean, I've seen these meth heads go into gas stations and beat people with baseball bats and hatchets and stuff. If this happened anywhere in the sticks and it was just 2 people fighting with an axe, you wouldn't think anything of it. The problem is we have a thing called pattern recognition. And pattern recognition tells you that from all the stories you see and hear coming out of the UK, that this is a rampant problem that they've had for years now, that the police have turned a blind eye to, and that the government is complicit in allowing and trying to cover up. So that's why even if parts of this story are wrong, it goes viral because people like us are going, what the hell? When's enough going to be enough, right? So could it be that this girl was the aggressor? Sure. Possible. We don't know. Is it likely? No. It's far more likely that this mother's account, if this Aesthetica person is telling the truth, is what we actually expect it to be. That's just the reality. Because this is where we've seen this time and time and time again, you know? If she attacked the migrants first, she's in her home. Well, it depends. Are we talking about like going out into a public place and randomly attacking somebody because they're brown? I mean, I'm as fed up of the illegal migrants and mass importing of people from around the world, and I would like to get about 50 million people out of this country. Trust me, I'm right there with you. But I'm also not going to advocate for someone just to walk up to some random person and attack them, you know? But again, there's obviously more to the story than that. So Okay, the Gifts and Ghost says, while walking in their local community, Lola, Ruby, and Maya were accosted by 2 adults. So, okay, the 2 older girls, it says, were both 13 on here. I thought it said that one of them was older than that. Oh, she didn't give ages on here. Okay. 4 nationals were directing inappropriate remarks at Lola when Lola and her sister told the migrants to leave them alone and go away. Ruby was attacked by the adult. I thought I saw that there were photos somewhere of the actual bruises to her head. Interesting. In her native environment. Don't poke Hillbilly City Slicker. Again, it would have to depend on who provoked who. You know? There would have to be some clear reason why one person was the aggressor and one person was on the receiving or the defense of it. Your society full of apologists, you're going to fail. Boy, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth, right? No, we don't advocate for being a violent aggressor, but yes, there's a pattern, different cultures for us to cohabitate. The funniest thing is I was telling my mom this because she doesn't pay attention to any of this kind of stuff. She doesn't really think about too much of this stuff. And I'll explain some of this stuff to her in detail when I see her, but it kind of goes in one ear and out the other. And I told her, it's like the things that she used to say where I'd be like, oh, Mom, you can't say that, or you can't think about people like that, or you can't judge a whole blah, blah, blah. I'm now that person where I'm like, don't care, get them out. Don't care, they can go home. Don't care, whatever, you know? It's like I'm tired of being the nice person. I'm tired of trying to be the considerate person. So I think Quillpig's trying to get at the fact that Israel makes a big mess in the Middle East, and then we get a lot of mass influx of migrants from over there. I think that's what he's fishing for. But no, all the Western governments are also complicit in bringing them all over here. I mean, the reality is this is basically one long coordinated effort that we've seen for years now. And they'll call you a crazy conspiracy theorist, you know, but it's the reality. The mass movement of people has been something that we've seen hitting every Western society, but except for like freaking Poland. Poland and a few handfuls of like other smaller European countries are the only ones who don't have like this mass influx of migrants, you know? So going back to the more horrific story from today, which I almost didn't want to cover on stream just because it's so not something that I would usually talk about on this channel. Climate change, yeah. This whole thing in Minneapolis, talking about this, God, mass movement of people and mental illness and people trying to cohabitate that just don't see eye to eye. We're a mess, guys. We truly are a mess. When I was there in May, they've taken over a whole neighborhood. We turned a corner. It was third world time trash everywhere. Because they told the EU to suck eggs. I mean, yeah, here's the thing, guys. I will say, like I've said this before, I think I said it on Discord. I hate that NATO and the United Nations and all these things became a thing. I like the idea of countries looking out for themselves. I got no problem with like treaties and alliances and stuff. Like, you know, if we decide that there's a country in Europe like England, who's like, you know, our oldest ally or whatever, although technically France was an ally before England, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Ancestry comes from England. Culture comes from England. A lot of that stuff. Then okay, you want to be allies with them, great. But like this whole idea that we're in this group with 12 other countries where we don't really have anything in common, but because we're all on the same side, we all have to like donate shitloads of money and resources and stuff. I don't know. It's gotten crazy there from what we're showing. It's gotten terrible. It's gotten, God, it's like I saw there was a video from like middle of town somewhere in Minnesota where it's like Ramadan was going on or something, and there was thousands of people out in the middle of the street praying, like, yeah, on their rugs and stuff. I'm like, can we just not? Like, I used to be that person to be like, hey, religious freedom for everybody. Doesn't matter if you're Muslim, Jewish, Christian, whatever. Now I'm just like, that was a mistake. That was a serious mistake. Then Russia's on your doorstep. I don't know. I don't want to get into the geopolitics of all of it, but Brits caused most strife around the world, and we're still dealing with it to this day. Only real ally was France. I caught that denial as I was saying. It's like the funny thing about it is that, yeah, I mean, really, we've talked about England because, again, that's where the American ancestry really comes from. But like, yeah, France was really our ally in the American Revolution. So that's really interesting, you know? Cultures can cohabitate, but cultures cannot clash for who's in the more prevalent in the grand scheme. Pushing for a culture to take precedence is a show of... It's an invasion, is what it is. It is a cultural invasion, unfortunately. And whereas we've had it racking societies and cultures with migrants and different cultural groups and enclaves and places like Minneapolis getting overrun by, like, you know, Somalis and Muslims and stuff. Now we have, again, another version of that with, again, the LGBT ideology, the trans activism and stuff. And unfortunately, it's turning into this. And but people on Twitter today are all like, oh my God, trans people have only committed like 5 mass shootings in the last so many years. And it's like, okay, but how many trans people are there? Like 0.05%? Like, are we talking legitimately trans or people who just want to be different? Because this person here was clearly not mentally fit, okay, in any capacity whatsoever. So this all broke today, and I don't think I need to get through the nitty gritty. It's pretty simple. Another church school, Catholic school, you know, targeted by a man who thought he was a woman. After even having his parents affirming his own mental delusions, he decided to do what he did. And the writings all over his weapons are completely all over the place. You've had people try and be like, oh, he was a right-winger, he was a white nationalist, he was a this, he was that. It's like, dude, he didn't... I don't know that he believed anything from any of the stuff he put on his weapons, because so much of it is all over the place. Like, he's like, oh, India bad, Jews bad, Trump bad, this and that, and then he attacked a Christian school, not a synagogue, not a mosque or anything, and then he put like mashallah on there, but he's clearly not religious. It's the weirdest thing. This feels like MK Ultra, if you want to be honest about it. Like, for me, this feels like some sort of weird psyop. It's the strangest thing. But at the end of the day, it's like, unfortunately, he did what he did, and I believe the 2 people that were in critical condition are supposed to pull through. But yeah, I think 19 injured, 19 affected, 2 dead, 17 injured total. No one writes that shit on their guns. Well, not mentally well people, certainly. Hey, Vernum, I've Cerakoted my magazines on one of my rifles. I Cerakoted my everyday carry. That's about the extent. Hard cap on population per square mile, yeah, for real. People can and should defend their cultures as to not be taken over. Yeah, DB, I agree with you there. 5 are trans, 1 Trump hater, and 1 from Free Palestine cult. Well, and the hard part, Geek, is that there's also other ways that they... Classifying a mass shooting is, it's very strange. Oh, wait, Vernum, you didn't see this. Okay, so this morning here in the U.S., in Minneapolis, there was a Catholic church school that a freak decided to go into and shoot up. And the dude had a manifesto. He had a YouTube channel. He had like a 20-plus minute video detailing everything. He had his memoir, his manifesto. He was fluent in Russian, but he's an American. He wrote it all in Russian, and then people transcribed parts of it. The dude was a complete whack job. Like, complete nuts. Andy No says today's killing of Christian children at a church in Minneapolis occurred in the context of a surge in far-left trans propaganda encouraging Trantifa and other leftists to take up arms. Their targets are Christians and conservatives. I've been warning and reporting on this phenomenon for years. Yeah, oh, the Protect Trans Kids shirts with the knife, yeah. Some queer folks are armed and ready to bash back. Trans rights or else. We all got him and we got each other. Death before detransition. Yeah. All I see is a bunch of dudes. Always a manifesto. Yeah, way too many drugs. Way too many. That was false, Cool Pig. That was false. There's nothing to indicate that he was Jewish. I've seen the community notes behind the scenes. There's nothing there that I've seen. I could be wrong, and if I see anything that indicates that, I'll let you know. But the thing was, this person transitioned back in 2020 or 2021. 2020, I think it was. He was a minor. Both parents signed off on it. They both affirmed his beliefs. His mom worked at the church school up until 2021. So he was familiar with it. Why he targeted that specific school, I have no idea. You know, no clue. No clue at all. Yeah, Trantifa. That's what Andy Noah has kind of labeled them as. So, as Gold said, one of the biggest problems right now is the normalization of political violence in response to disagreement. You'll regularly see casual calls to violence in primarily left-wing communities. It needs to stop, and the people doing it need to be banned and investigated. Well, it won't happen, but what will happen is it'll blow back the other direction. Yeah, the shooter revealed that he saw himself as a demon in his manifesto. Yeah, this manifesto is like top-notch crazy. It's the most insane stuff. This kind of lifestyle is considered mental illness. Now it's a celebrated thing. That's the craziest part. That's the part that I don't understand the most. Like, it's one thing, okay. It's one thing to be like, accept everybody. Somebody wants to be gay. Somebody wants to live a different lifestyle than you. Just let them do their thing. Okay, so I may not agree with it, but fine, whatever. They're going to do their thing. I can't stop them. Then you get to this where you go, okay, you look at the high mortality rate, the physical complications from actually going on HRT and having surgeries, and everything else to go with it, and you go, why would you ever encourage somebody down this lifestyle, down this path? Like, why would you ever push anybody towards this? Unless you truly hate them. If you want to see somebody shorten their life, be miserable, and then become an outcast in society and a constant victim, then push them right through this. Go ahead. But it's like, no, it's Russian, Avernum. This person, not Russian, they're American. This person was American. But he did his entire manifesto in Russian. Yeah, but again, no normal person writes on their weapons. This is the craziest, weirdest thing. They're willing to match any number you give them, pretty much. That's why we used to have asylums, yeah. Well, the weirdest part is, and you can see, I don't want to go through too much of this, because I know YouTube's probably going to take down the stream or whatever if we do. But there is, he goes through like his ammo cache and stuff. I'm gonna mute that. Like, he goes through like his ammo cache and stuff and all that in a different video that gets taken down. Of course, you got Robert Sterling here saying you'll never get me to drink the tap water in Minnesota. Like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Grok has the translation on X. I'll have to take a look at that. It's not Russian, it's Cyrillic alphabet, but it's English. Oh, interesting. People shouldn't be gay, highly recommend. The only worst thing than being gay is being straight. Hey, now. I tend to enjoy being straight. Yeah, no, this is... All right, so this picture down here, I had a tweet, but I don't think I have it brought up anymore. The mayor of Minneapolis. This was at George Floyd's funeral. He faked crying, got down on one knee, and was all distraught right after George Floyd decided to overdose on fentanyl. And so later on, I think we have a clip of him. Yeah. This is the same mayor here, okay? Let me play this.
Look, we need to be doing more than talking. It can't just be words. There needs to be action. And when we have seen school shooting after school shooting, when we have seen churches get shot up by horrible actors, I think the impetus has to be on all of us as leaders to do a whole lot more.
So again, this is just bravado. This doesn't fix anything. And I find it funny, as somebody who's always wondered why we don't have armed security at like every school in America. You know, of all the things that we waste money on, why do we not have armed security where any group of children congregate? You know, we can have 100 different people in some sort of security fashion at a sporting event, but we can't at schools, you know? So they always talk about like, oh, do more. And it's like, why don't you guys actually endorse the idea of having some armed security at like every school?
To recognize that we've got more guns in this country than we have people. And it's on all of us to recognize the truth and the reality that we can't just say that this shouldn't happen again and then allow it to happen.
Well, yeah, we have more guns than people. It only takes a few days to make a gun. It takes 9 months to make a baby. I will say, as somebody who owns more guns than... God, I've got more guns than people in my house. Mine have never left my sight. Mine remain unloaded when I'm not using them, other than like my everyday carry or the one I keep in my safe. And mine have never hurt anybody. So the number, they always do this to make everything sound scarier than it really is. Oh, we've got more guns than people. We also probably have more cars than people. Cars kill more people than anything else. Like, that's the craziest part. Okay? Jacob Freight, really life. Oh, I don't even think you need to look that up, man. You know, it's weird here in Hungary, in my city, we actually have armed security, even though we don't have access to anything more than melee stuff. Oh, interesting. So it's really funny because I remember during a lot of the coverage of Kingdom Come Deliverance with Daniel Vavra over in the Czech Republic. Is they still call it the Czech Republic, or is there a different name for it now? But he said over there, like they have guns everywhere. Like they're like the wild, wild west of Europe over there. Guns are banned here. My baseball bat's my only weapon. Oof. Well, stay in shape. You know, blunt force, that'll do something. But it won't defend you against another gun, that's for sure.
And again and again beyond that. It's on all of us. And I have heard about a whole lot of hate that's being directed at our trans community. Anybody who is using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community or any other community out there has lost their sense of common humanity.
I love it. Christian church targeted, trans shooter, mental health epidemic, but guns bad and don't pick on trans people. That's the takeaway this dude has. The Texas of Europe, yeah, that's what it sounds like. All right, what's the next one we got? In fact, I want to get back to that in a second. So we had 2 days ago. This is from 2 days ago. The Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison was at the DNC summer meeting saying, "We have sued Trump for gender-affirming care. We're not going to scapegoat the transgender community." And then this happens. What about the hate directed at the Christian and Catholic community? No, see, when this kind of stuff happens, you know what the big top liberal influencers on Twitter all say? Oh, stop saying thoughts and prayers. Stop saying thoughts and prayers. They were praying. He knows he said the quiet part out loud. Yeah. That's literally everybody. The JoJo from Jersey, Jen Psaki, the mayor, all these massive, like Harry Sisson, all these guys, David Hogg, all these left-leaning or paid activist accounts on Twitter are all regurgitating the same thing. Oh, stop saying thoughts and prayers. They were praying. It's like, guys, first off, no one's going to take your opinion seriously when all you guys do is shit on religion 24/7. So no one cares what your opinion is. But secondly, I agree. Thoughts and prayers are not enough. Let's arm people. Wild thought, right? Armed security in every school. Armed security in any area, any place with soft targets. Hell, let's take like metal detectors out of everywhere. Everybody carries everywhere they go. Every American. You carry wherever you go. I guarantee you, there will be less crime. In fact, there's part of the manifesto. I don't know if I have it brought up here or not. Let me check the tabs real quick. I probably don't have it brought up here. There was part of the manifesto that got translated where he actually says in his manifesto that he doesn't want to target an area that will have a lot of adults or parents because he's afraid they might be armed. Okay? I mean, think about that. The shooter says, I don't want to try to take people out in an area where there'll be a lot of parents or adults because they might have guns. In this case, I think the guy shot from the street. Well, security can fire back. You know, a former, like a military veteran, an off-duty cop with proper training, they could take him out. I'm sorry, these mentally ill freaks, they only succeed because they have firepower. It's not because of training and dedication and skill. You know? Few swings and you'll get tired. Boy, Desert, you're not kidding. My daughter, so she had, my kids are all doing fall baseball, and it's like 6 weeks. One practice, one game a week. It's very, very less, like way less intensive. It's not even as bad as the regular spring season, and it's certainly not as bad as All-Star season was. So my daughter, though, at her first practice last night, only 8 of the 12 girls showed up, and she had to pitch because she's the only pitcher on the team that was there, and she's the only one that volunteered because she can pitch. And she got done pitching for like an hour. She gets home, and then this morning she's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't move my arm. It's so sore." It's like, yeah, it'll wear you out. It will wear you out for sure. Manifesto suggested that he was going for soft targets. Yeah, exactly. Legally? You mean carrying legally, or what are we talking about? Oh yeah, the cricket bat. I've seen Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is such a great movie. Such a fantastic movie. Let me see here. What else did we have? Oh, yeah. Then we had Grums. Grums. My favorite person, Grums. Trying to incite, what, Satanic Panic 3.0? Call of Duty did this. I mean, I swear to God. Look, was this thing where the trans bullets pop up in the gun a bad thing? A bad look for Call of Duty for a Pride Month skin thing? Yeah. But holy shit, man. This might be the worst take of all time. Simon Pegg used to be so funny. He was pretty funny. Need that part of the manifesto? Yeah, I'll have to look it up. Clickbait. This is worse than clickbait. This is straight up saying... I mean, think about this. No, this doesn't fall under the realm of like defamation or slander. I mean, it might be slander. But to claim that the reason that the gunman did it was because of Call of Duty having some trans bullets on a skin? Yeah, should have said Call of Duty predicted it. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. That you could have said. He could have said, this is really ironic now, right? Could have said anything else. But to actually try to come out and blame Call of Duty for this, unironically. Somebody says it appears he was trans, but I think this, in general, this guy was just evil. Grum says it's the encouragement of violence by the left affecting many fringe people. See my other post today. So he's not saying I was being hyperbolic. He straight up says this is what caused it. Someone says it was GoldenEye 64. Exactly, yeah. It's for views. Oh, I know it. I know it's for views. But like, dude, come on, man. I get it. I've talked shit about Grums. I don't have much respect for him anymore. But even this, I think is a legitimately bad take. Like a really bad take. Would make even me act like a really retarded. Holy shit, that game has fallen hard. It has. Avernum, it really has. It's more, it goes back to like whether or not you want to say that the trans bullets were in poor taste or given the recent events, they shouldn't have done that. Fine. It's this level of simplifying everything down to, oh, I'm going to blame one thing. And not a multitude of things that have contributed to this actually happening, you know? Here's the moment Tim Walz signed a bill to make Minnesota a trans refuge state. But doesn't that basically just mean that your children can run away from home and the state doesn't have to give them back to you if they want to transition? I'm pretty sure that's what that was. I think Washington's one of those. I got to get out of this state, guys. I mean, I don't want to leave. I can't imagine living anywhere else because I love living here. But, damn, you know? Playing COD right now, the zombies go Bert. Yeah. Stop following Grumps, it's the thing. I stopped following him after my falling out with JDA. It was so funny because Grumps just quietly left our little group chat that we were in. And it's like, yeah, he doesn't want any part of that either. But I got burned out on Grumps. Basically, I could put up with the clickbaity crap with Grumps. It's the fact that he legitimately will never own up to the fact that he's never making a game. He's never finishing his game. The $600,000 he got and the continuing, it's like $50,000 a year. I think somebody did the math on it for the supporter packs that people are still paying for. He's just never going to finish the game. You know, I've heard Idaho's awesome. I've been there like once briefly. Video games cause violence according to some in the 90s. Actually, I community noted him, so we'll see if it goes through. But yeah, I just put those studies on there that say, no, video games do not cause violence. This is a fun one, though. An analyst on MSNBC suggests that the school shooter may have been driven by the effects of COVID. I have not watched this yet.
When you use the word radicalized, we tend to think of terror, a more traditional terrorist, something that people came, especially in this country, to seem to be familiar with in the post 9/11 era, right? So when you talk about radicalization, you talk about writings that reference suicide, extremely violent thoughts and ideas, and those multiple videos that are posted online. What do these groups do when you say they radicalize?
So, whether it's a terrorist organization,
who watches the mainstream news anymore? This is painful. Like, holy crap.
Or, the variety of ideologies that different people follow. They're following them because they have susceptibility. There's various push-pull factors. Maybe it's some kind of mental break. Maybe it's their life has, gone down the toilet and they have no hope. Maybe they have bad parenting, a variety of things. The effects of COVID and the isolation and what's called the gamification influence, where young men are growing up, being raised by video games. All of those things are involved in really people mobilizing towards violence more routinely.
They're straight up blaming video games and COVID. Oh my God. I feel like, look, COVID, technology, all these things. Look, video games can desensitize people to violence, sure. So can movies. So can seeing violence on a daily basis on your phone or on your TV. So, like, I'm not going to say that things don't contribute to desensitization when it comes to us not feeling like humans, not relating to people isolating. All those things are bad, negatively affecting people, and can lead to eventually people doing things. But taking the responsibility of committing a violent act away from somebody who has made the decision to do that themselves, regardless of the circumstances, and then just saying it's COVID and video games that have caused this to happen, I just can't.
These things, but you will also see people get radicalized solely on these video games through headsets. They may never go on the internet otherwise. So there's a variety of things that...
Oh my God, they think that people play video games online but never go on the internet. Oh my God. Yeah, denial of service. All I've heard about is how they don't have access to the internet and don't know how to use computers, right? So how are they getting radicalized? The worst part, guys, of all the horrible things, the side effects to come out beyond the horrible act itself, the people who lost their lives, the kids who are affected by it, the tragedy of everything else, the person who did it, obviously not being around to serve justice. I mean, I don't know if he ended his own life or someone took him out or whatever. But he then tried to tie Brandon Herrera, the YouTuber, into all this. Because he said, oh yeah, I met him at a convention once and, we got along on a lot of things. Shooter said, sponsored by Brandon Herrera for president. Met Brandon at a show last year. He and I had a brief convo, agreed on a lot of things. Y'all should vote for Brandon for president. Again, I don't believe a thing this freak said or did or wrote on his weapons or anything. That's why I said I think that the whole damn thing could be a psyop, to be honest. Like, MK Ultra is a thing for a reason. People think MK Ultra stopped. I don't think it ever did, Self-inflicted? Oh, okay. They don't even know what the word computer means. Yeah, exactly. All we've heard for like the last 10, 20 years is how black people can't afford ID, black people aren't smart enough to know how to vote, black people aren't able to get access to the internet, black people need this and that. And then they want to be like, oh no, some of these people, they go online and get radicalized without even having access to the internet. It's like, what world are you living in? Everybody. I was watching videos from what's going on over in the Middle East with the conflict and innocent people getting bombed left and right and this and that. And again, I'm not getting into the Israel stuff, but just like the actual, like there's a nursery, a woman sitting there with like a dozen kids in a little playroom or whatever. And this Palestinian woman, and there's bombs dropping outside and she's sitting there on her cell phone. I'm like, in reality, we're different culturally, but unfortunately the world is pretty much the same no matter where you go, unless there's places that have no internet, no phone, no electricity. Like, even in what I would consider the third world over there in the middle of a conflict, a woman is still sitting on her phone at work, okay? So if she has a phone in Palestine, I have a hard time believing people who go on the video games online aren't also on the internet. Like, must be all that rap music, yeah. convoluted jab against Brandon after he revealed these run free. Something. Avernum, it feels disingenuous. The whole thing. When I say the whole thing feels like a psyop, I say that in all honesty, in more ways than one. It's like there's so much, dude. Hey, NS, the world's going to shit in a hell handbasket. I'd like to hit the reset button. Dude, trust me, I feel you there, man. I get it. Dude, just getting my stream going tonight was hell. I was more rested today. I was like, you know what? I'm going to approach this with a better attitude than Monday. We're going to get everything going early. And then I got the stream going late. YouTube Streamlabs crapped out on me. My kids left the van open. I had to run downstairs, get the van closed. I still got to lock it. Got to remember that. And I feel like I've got so many things working against me right now in life. And then all this stuff hits the fan. You go, I guess my life is pretty good compared to the way things have gone for some people lately. But it's still a lot. Life is still stressful, man. Like, holy shit. Psyoping of his own making. No, man, I'm a believer. I'm not going to go like the Alex Jones, Sandy Hook route, but I'm definitely a believer that there's cells that exist for a reason that aren't foreign cells, but, domestic. Today, Alan was called the N-word 50 times by teen kids in voice chat. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yeah. No, man, it's just, anytime you think you've got it bad, anytime you think things are not going to get any better, and it's hard to think that they will. Like, I'm looking at the economy and the stock market and the housing market and rentals and dealing with all sorts of crap. I'm like, anytime you think that things are really, really bad, it is useful to step back and take a look at how other people's lives are going and realize it could always be worse. It's just, well, drop of water. I was never one of those people who's like, I'm not going to have kids. I mean, I at one point, maybe it was like, oh, I can't imagine having kids. And then it's like 20 years later, it's like, holy shit, things are, when I first was like, maybe a teenager, and I'm like, I can't imagine having kids in this society, in this world. I look back and man, I would gladly trade now for 20 years ago. More like 30 years ago, but 20 years ago, I'd be okay with that, I'm just doing the best I can with the kids. Like, I try to keep them informed about what goes on around them without letting them be overly exposed to too much of it. Just remember this Taco Tuesday. I didn't have tacos yesterday. I can't remember what I had yesterday. Had Chick-fil-A tonight, and I'm starving now. Dude, my days are all screwed up. This weather, our heat wave in Washington I'm going to get sick at some point. Because we went from really hot weather for like 3-4 days straight to today it dropped down into like the low 70s, which was awesome. And then it's going to go back in the 80s tomorrow. I don't know what the weekend's going to be like. Amputee eunuch with one eye. Oh, man. Man, that's a lot. That's way too much. I'm a realist, Lugia. I try to be realistic, but I also... Here's the thing about me. I was talking to my mom about this today because we were talking about a lot of shit with work and things we were trying to, like, figure out that are another source of stress in my life. I don't hold grudges. It's a big thing for me. Like, I'm not a grudge holder. I don't walk around with a chip on my shoulder every day like, oh, this person wronged me or that person wronged me. I just move on. I'll vent. I'll get over it. I'll move on. I have a short fuse sometimes. Sometimes I'll blow up. But it's like I get it out of my system and I move on. In doing that, I don't do well with people who constantly are like in bad moods. Like I can't be in a bad mood for that long. At some point, you have to be like, okay, I got that off my chest. Now I need to move on and try to like, have a better perspective about it. Big ass steak. I'm freaking warm. I shut my window. I can feel the blood leaving my face. It's not helping my complexion. But a big ass steak sounds amazing. I wouldn't mind having kids once my life is in order. Find a woman who can be trusted. Well, just be very discerning, Avernum. I truly believe that there are still good women out there, despite what the internet will tell you. But you got to be discerning. You got to not settle. That's the hardest part. And you also have to not go into it super jaded, which is hard because so many guys have been burned, Because there are, just if you spend any time online, you'll see constantly it's the red pill manosphere saying all women suck, and then you go, but no, they don't all suck, and then 90% of women are online being whores, and you go, okay, it doesn't make it any easier, There's a chip on my shoulder. It means I simply dropped a Dorito and was too lazy to reach the few inches to get it. Well, you never know when you need a Dorito, man. All right, guys, I am going to hit the hay. Appreciate y'all for hanging. It was, like I said, it was rough. It was rough getting the stream going. I had Streamlabs crapping out on me. Middle of like going live, it's like, nope, screw you. So it's like, okay, restart. What's today? Today's Wednesday. Maybe Friday we'll pick up where I left off on Expedition 33, play through Act 3 together. Either way, guys, I don't think I have any plans this weekend, so Friday or Saturday we'll do some stuff. If I can't get a video made tomorrow, I'll try to get one out on Friday night, and then we'll do a stream on Saturday. You know, it's bad when you see the OnlyFans girls doing 2,000 guys in one day. Oh my god, dude. That's so bad. I saw something. Somebody posted a video of that. Not Bonnie Blue, the other one. The one who actually looks her age. Lily Phillips. Yes, I hate that I know her name. Talking to her parents, and basically they disowned her on like a video chat because they just couldn't support her lifestyle. I'm like, oh, no shit, Sherlock. How did it just now happen? Like, how did it get to this point? You know? Come on. Gotta go water the garden? All right, have fun. Have a good night, day, something. Exactly. It's always something somewhere. Yeah, hopefully the pendulum doesn't swing back too far, but we'll see. I just want people to get some freaking common sense, and I swear to God that's not happening anytime soon. Like, good lord. Making way too much money. I mean, yeah. All right, guys. I'm out of here. The wife is paging me. I will catch